There's me just enjoying the moment post-ride on the Uber pretzel. And Jane says, you need to carb up a little bit. You're looking a bit like a lollipop. And I'm like, lollipop? She goes, your head's too big for your body. It's called a marching press. Well, on the agenda this morning is Ed's race endings. It's basically a big series of nasty 3-minute efforts with a twist at the end. More to come. But now, the obvious thing to do is fuel up on H2O, amino acids, and cold coffee. So just doing a progressive warm-up where Ed gradually ramps the power every 3 minutes. I'm personally electing to do some of it out of the saddle with the low cadence drills, just to fire up the hamstrings and the glutes. I personally believe that it certainly will help when we come and hit the hard efforts on the Zwift shortly. It's 2 minutes 45 seconds at 330 to 360 watts. And a final 15 seconds at 450 to 500 watts. The idea being, it's an above threshold effort with a kick at the end to mimic what happens in racing. I'm just going a bit fast here. And the glutes and the hamstrings are really helping here. Coming up for the kick. Two minutes recovery. Oh dear. Nearly ground to the hole there. That's horrid. I've got 8 of these. I'll report back. 6 set. I'm calling it a day there. I'm just going to destroy myself for the race on Sunday. Ed, respect sir, you defeated me. Well, as you just saw, in all honesty, that training session was beyond me. So I've retreated to the sanctuary of Tempest Fugit Flat for a little bit of zone 1, zone 2, just to get the blood circulating through the legs to help the process of recovery. I've also taken a very quick look at the data on Training Peaks, and I'm very happy to have actually completed 6 reps of 3 minutes with just 2 minutes recovery between each of those. And taking other upsides, the 15-second punches at the end of each effort were all in the required 450 to more than actually 500 watts. So that's a big positive, because I know now that even when I'm feeling really uncomfortable on the climb in a race, I do actually have a bit of punch in the locker. So I'm going to bank that. But looking at the 2-minute 45 segments of each 3-minute effort, definitely I hit the required power band of 330 to 360 in the first effort, but then in the second I started to dip below that, and in reality for efforts 3, 4, 5 and 6 I was in the 290 to 310 watt range, really struggling to get anywhere near 220, let alone 330 to 360. So that's why I decided to cut the training short. I mean, short is a relative term here, at 6 repetitions rather than 8. Anyway, now time to complete the zone 1, zone 2, recover well and get back on with work. And Sunday's likely going to be a bit of upper body strength training, a bit more zone 1, zone 2 on the bike, because I want to keep myself nice and fresh for Sunday the 3rd of May, which is the 1-year anniversary of when I first dropped a video on bike racing without mercy. Hi, welcome to my new YouTube channel. My name's Phil Lovett and this is my quest. A quest many of you already share, and I hope many more of you will join me on. The quest to win an e-cycling race on Zwift. Now for me this is going to be a big endeavour, one requiring me to explore some of the structured training programs on Zwift and also sensible, sustainable nutrition and weight training. All in the time-honoured pursuit of more power, less weight and more speed, and a nice trim waistline. Look, it's going to be a journey requiring us to surge into the red and outside of our comfort zones, and for me to pull some pretty unpleasant faces, where we shall get dropped on the flats, we shall get dropped in the mountains, we shall get dropped in Central Park and on the streets of London, but we will never surrender. And with the help of some of my personal bike racing heroes and heroines, and from our little islands of turbo trainers and smart bikes, we shall resolve to continue the fight. Where we will survive the power surges, we will stay in the peloton, and we will ride over the wheels of those who would otherwise beat us. And in the final sprint, we shall pedal furiously to victory. This is bike racing without mercy. Well, my body's telling me that that was one difficult training session. I'm a little bit shaky, and having done it fasted, it's now definitely time to replenish the glycogen stores, which are definitely at a low ebb. So, starting with the greens, all the vitamins and goodness, protein to repair the muscle damage, hippie milk, vitamin C, and tons of carbs. The post-ride nutrition doesn't deviate. Now Jane's just doing her personal training session, Scott, here in front of the smaller TV.
Bloody hell, Phil. What is that? What is that? I haven't seen a TV that small since 1992. Bloody hell, look at the size of it. It's a joke. It's a bit of a joke.
And we do actually have an even smaller TV in my daughter's bedroom. And look, it's not even particularly flat screen. So I'm going upstairs now, Scott, to do my upper body training in front of our larger TV. And I know you have been commenting on the size of our TVs. So is this main TV here large enough? Just to give you a kind of, there's a chair, there's a TV, and hopefully the screen is flat enough for you, Scott. Now once again, this is going to be a max effort attempt at the press up, aiming for the elusive 50. So Chris P, roll the jokes and the fast forward. Anyway, next week, coming on stream is going to be a couple of different workouts from some of the people in our community. One from Rogue Vogue, or Fitness with Rogue on Instagram, and the other from Chris Garrinet. More to come. Anyway, now for the press ups. And now for a max effort decline plank, and the decline makes it harder because it puts more weight on the upper body, so you've got more to stabilise through the upper torso. Now, really focusing on taking the air into the core, bracing the abs, and almost trying to push the abdominal muscles back up through the back. That was just over 2.5 minutes. And towards the end, the only way you can maintain the rigid position is through taking the air back into the core and bracing it, squeezing the glutes, trying to squeeze the core, and almost trying to push the abdominal muscles back up through the back. That's the best way to describe it. Coming to the 100-kilometre mark, just under 3 hours, 2 hours 57, 19 at the moment. Just completing the 7% box hill. I'm going to call it a day at 100 kilometres because I think I'm going to impair my ability to do the Uber Pretzel in sub 4 hours if I continue. There's 100 kilometres. I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to say goodbye to my little gruppetto. Carbs and goodness to fuel the Uber Pretzel. Cauliflower and mushroom curry on rice. Ah.